What's good, everyone? I'm IAnthonyD. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see your beautiful faces. Today we're talking Texas Chain Saw Massacre. First, I apologize about my voice. Been traveling a little bit, got a little sick, so we're gonna get through this. We're gonna push through this. This is important. There's some changes coming to lobbies, like we said, and we're gonna go ahead and break it down. So if you enjoy these videos, make sure to slash that like button, subscribe with notifications set to all, and let's get into it. Our team has been looking into making lobbies run smoother for all players. We have made some adjustments here, turned a few knobs, and continue to work on our system. While continue to look into providing a better lobby experience for our players, we are introducing a critical change to this system. Lobby dodging has become a roadblock as we try to investigate further into any potential issues occurring within the lobby system. As we stated in the past, we did not want to impose any penalties for players leaving a lobby. However, in order for our team to continue our work and get to the bottom of any issues that might be troubling lobbies, a cooldown to matchmaking will be introduced in our next patch. The team did not come to this decision lightly. So to clear all that up, there is an actual backfill issue here. The actual coding and lobby system itself is not working properly. When one player leaves, another player getting in is just not working correctly. And they're having trouble fixing that because of the amount of lobby dodging. And in today's game, dude, people will leave for all kinds of issues, from player levels to maps to characters to anything. So they're having trouble figuring out what's actually going on with this backfill system, which is just affecting the overall experience because of this other issue, which is the lobby dodging. So in order to combat that, they are introducing a cooldown to matchmaking, which is 3 minutes. They go on to say, for our May 14th 2024 patch, we will be applying a 3-minute timeout to players who choose to leave a public lobby on purpose after prompted with an exit pop-up, disconnect from servers while in a public lobby, close out the game while in a public lobby, i.e. Alt F4. Which right away, this already brought up a few concerns, because there's already a few bugs in the game or just are situations where you need to leave the lobby. They do go on to further explain that there are other situations where this cooldown will not be applied. Players will not receive a penalty if any of these circumstances occur within a public lobby: when a party has been kicked from the lobby, when a party host leaves, party internet connection is lost, and match does not have enough suitable players. We recognize there will be situations where you may be disconnected outside of your control, and we have put in measures in place to reduce those risks while preventing the system from being exploited. This is one of our first steps in being able to help migrate frustrations our players have been experiencing during matchmaking. We want to make sure that everyone who steps foot into Texas has the best possible experience. We will continue to refine lobbies where needed, as well as investigate ways to improve matchmaking in lobbies overall. Now, a little later in this video, we're going to jump into what the community thinks. I think it's safe to say that most of the community is pretty unhappy about this situation. It just kind of sucks overall that this is even something that has to be done. This game does have a weird kind of like culture around lobby dodging, where players will leave it for any reason at all. The lobby experience is not a good one, man, and something has to be done. And personally, like I've said before, I'm not a fan of DC penalties or any form of penalty for leaving the lobby, especially in a game where you cannot pick the character that you want to choose. Because in a perfect world where every character is amazing, every map is amazing, and every perk is amazing, there's always going to be some sort of lobby dodging, because we cannot go into the game being the character we want to be. You're not guaranteed that. It does suck that this is happening. I do agree that something has to happen, and I'm in favor of anything that leads towards a better lobby experience. So, and to be honest, with a lot about how this is phrased, it kind of seems like maybe they're hinting at that this is not a permanent thing, and that once they can figure out what's going on with the backfill issue, this could be removed in the future. So there's that at least. And honestly, with updates every 2 weeks, they're going to continue to change and adapt things depending on how the community is. It reminds me a lot of like when Leatherface being not mandatory anymore was like, when that happened, when they proposed that idea, I remember everyone being upset about it, me included. I thought that was the dumbest idea and it was going to break balance. But then it turned out to not be that big of an issue, and people just kind of went with it. This may be one of those things where it seems like a big deal, but over time it'll just slowly become the norm. And then, you know, there's also the people who think that this is just going to lead for people to DC in game, which most likely I do agree that's probably going to happen. You're going to have your hard-headed players who are just going to do it anyways. So who knows how that's going to affect things. Maybe that makes things worse than they already are, or maybe Gun just throws in another DC penalty in game. They probably should have added that from the beginning. I don't think they want to do this though. I don't think they wanted to add a penalty at all. They've said that like much earlier before, so it seems like they were kind of just like, listen, we're gonna throw in a little matchmaking cooldown. You know, we don't want to add the penalty yet, but if it becomes a problem, then we might have to, kind of situation. So I don't know. As always, I want to know what you guys are thinking, so comment down below, but let's see what the community has to say. This will just cause people to DC as soon as they get into the game because they didn't get the character they wanted to play and couldn't leave the lobby without a penalty. Solo queue family is about to get rough again. You will have numerous in-game disconnects from family members who refuse to play with new family members. This is going to be brutal for solo players. I don't want to play family with level 0 players. Way too many bad experiences that usually just end up getting bullied by victims. The DC penalty is necessary but must be in game and not in the lobby. Basically, people will come into the game and start DCing, and that will be the new experience now. Just my 2 cents, but I feel penalties should only be enforced on in-game disconnects, not after death. Don't like this change personally and find this to be bad to implement the change after lobbies have been decent as of late. I don't know, I still think dodging a lobby as a family member will be faster than playing as victim. My hope is that this will be temporary so that maybe you can finally find the issue with the backfill. It just sucks because sometimes I get stuck with the same map over and over and over. This was needed. Thank the Lord for those who are simply saying they'll just DC in game or eat the 3-minute penalty because they don't want to play with certain characters, victims, or family and noobs. Yous are the real problem here, and I highly doubt this is the start. Y'all realize this is to help them figure out the lobby backfill issue, correct? All of you guys saying fix that first clearly didn't read the hub. The lobby dodging is screwing with the back-end information to help them fix the backfill. The overall lobby experience in this game has been an issue since launch. We've all dealt with it. It's been really bad and sometimes good, but then bad again. So hopefully this is a step forward to figuring things out. I don't know. Personally, I think we're gonna just get to a place where we're just gonna have to hide everything. Like, you're gonna have to hide the map, hide the player levels, hide the people you're going against, and just get thrown into the game and figure things out. I mean, it's kind of how a lot of the other asymmetrical works. I mean, Dead by Daylight, you don't know what kill you're going against until you're in the game. You typically don't know what map you're going against unless you bring an offering. It's the same thing with Evil Dead. You don't get to see the demon you're going against until the match starts. So maybe TCM has to play catch up in that regard and implement those types of features to help smooth this lobby experience out. So who knows? We'll have to see how that goes. Listen, if you guys enjoyed TCM gameplays, we have a series on the channel called Meet the Slaughters. A lot of funny moments. I hope to see you over there. If you enjoyed this video, slash that like button, subscribe with notifications set to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, don't do drugs, don't have sex, and oh yeah, don't die.
Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days, there are certain rules. Everybody dies. Everybody dies. You gotta have a secret.
You can never have sex.
Everybody dies. Everybody dies. These days,
You never drink or do drugs.
everybody